Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. There is currently somebody who feels like they are losing their grip on life. They feel like they are dying inside for several reasons. One of those reasons is that they know that they are no longer relevant to you in your world, and they know that that is because they foiled their opportunities with you, each and every one. They missed the boat. They missed the boat, they missed the plane, they missed the train, they missed everything. And there's this deep pain within them at this time because they know that they are being seen clearly by all. So the title of this video is that you're bad. Like Michael Jackson, like I'm bad, you know, like his song, right? Like good bad, great bad, tough bad, because you were tough when you could have been weak. You chose to be strong, okay? And we don't have to be strong all the time, but at the right times, you chose to be tough. You chose to be strong. This being that tried to control you and manipulate you, they are clearly seen as a manipulator, as a puppeteer, as a control freak, as a liar, and as someone who had an awareness of your divine abundance and your access to divine abundance through your gifts. And all they wanted to do was siphon that energy for themselves, for the benefit of themselves. Now, let me put this out there. If you have any negative views of Michael Jackson based on accusations that were made against him, this might not be a reading, okay? I have never allowed those accusations to mar my respect for him. I think he was a wonderful artist, and I admire him for his strength of what he went through. Of course, we all knew even before the movie that he had a very tough childhood, okay? But I just want to put that out there, okay? But I was putting my makeup on today to go see the movie, and Spirit brought that title, the title of this video, through to me. And I was like, okay, Spirit, I like that, cool. But there wasn't a lot to follow. And they said, well, just wait. It'll all come through. And so some things came through during the movie, but especially afterward. Divine was just showing me the similarities between the beautiful beings in this divine collective and how you are so gifted and you are so intent on transmuting the pain that you've been through into power. And that is something that Michael did. Yet in the background, there is a being who wanted so badly to dim your light. Now, your light is one of a kind because you recognize that it didn't just come from the light itself. Your light is the result of alchemy. It came from darkness, from unconsciousness, okay? You have been willing to explore the depths of you and to bring understanding and awareness to whatever it was inside of you that perhaps caused pain, or that led to a lack of understanding or awareness. You allowed light to be shed in those places of darkness so that you could integrate all aspects of yourself and love who you are, so that you could also love those around you. You could love your divine purpose. You could love your reason for being here on this earth. That is a part of the work that you do that is so meaningful and so powerful and so inspirational to other people. So there's somebody who knows that about you. They see that in you, and they hate that you have that power. They wanted it for themselves. While you've been doing the work that you needed to do to love yourself and to live your life, they were so angry because as you became more aware of who you are, more aware of your divine gifts and how you can use those gifts in this world, not only to help yourself but to help others, they were so angry that you were growing brighter and brighter and brighter, and the light that grew within you and radiated around you also shed light on who they are. It shed light on their attempts to manipulate you and to keep you small. This is a being who always knew that you were a portal to abundance, but they had no idea how much abundance you would be able to tap into. And as soon as they began to see a pattern of you transmuting that pain that they were causing into abundance, whether it was emotional abundance, spiritual abundance, financial abundance, creative abundance, they felt lost because their plan for you and your future, it's almost as if it started fading. Because every time you did something to love yourself and to honor your energy and to connect with the divine, they lost their grip on you just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until they have now been forced to release you completely. This is a being just like Joe. Yes, I am drawing comparisons here between whoever this was who attempted to manipulate you and control you and Joe Jackson. Yes. And these are downloads that have been coming in, okay? So take what resonates. But this is a person who thought that their control would be kept secret. But they hate that their evil is now being seen by many. They hate that people see them for who they are. And they realize now that a lot of the behaviors that they were doing when they were acting from pure emotion, nothing else, they had no self-control. They had no awareness of their emotions. They were just acting on impulse. They realized that what they were doing in that unconscious state is now being revealed. And they feel like they are now being seen as a wild, savage beast. And not in a good way. Not like, oh, you a beast. You in beast mode. Not like that. I'm talking about like an animal that has no awareness of what they're doing. They are just primitive and primal and out to survive. That is their goal, is just simply to survive. Acting on raw, basic, primal instinct. That's it. Nothing else. They hate that you're seen in your glory. They feel that your success was supposed to be theirs. They feel like what you have achieved was supposed to be accredited to them. And they're angry because perhaps at one time there was a flow of energy from you to them that they were siphoning, but that has been cut off. That has been completely cut off. They miss it because life seemed so easy when they were able to take their straw and sip from your nectar. That's how they see the past. That they were able to freely sip from your well. They knew that they had access to a divine oasis. And now they're in a dry desert with no shade, no water, no wind. And all they're feeling is the harshness, 11:11 on the timer, of the sunlight that is now exposing all of their stupidity. Their agreement to align with evil energies and evil entities for evil purposes. Everybody's seeing them for who they are. And it burns. They literally feel like they are on fire. So this person is experiencing some sort of sensory connection, a cosmic sensory connection, not to abundant frequencies, but to the pain, the reality of the pain that they were once causing for you. They are now feeling that. They literally feel like they are burning. They might have heartburn. I'm getting that for some of them, they're suffering from sunburn. Okay, they may have been laying out in the sun, they got sunburn. But now I've only felt that pain once because I don't usually burn. Okay, but I did get sunburn once on my chest, and it didn't burn like really badly because I do have a lot of melanin, but it hurt. So this person is in pain from this burning feeling, from this sun energy that is exposing their ignorance. I'm hearing, and it's also exposing the amount of time, the duration of time. It was a long period of time that they chose to be ignorant because the truth was available to them. There may have been a time where you were willing to reach out your hand, 1313 on the timer, but that's dead and gone. You're not reaching out to this person for a thing now. People that were close to both of you now see the truth. They now know the truth. They see it and they know it. But Spirit was very loud with saying they now know, because this person created so many facades and illusions to hide the truth that a lot of people thought that they were okay. And that whatever it was that they were doing to you, they reasoned in their mind that you must have deserved it. Now they know that that is nothing but a lie. They know that this person is a liar and a deceiver. Now, I wore this today, this Hello Kitty hoodie, because it was rainy, it's chilly today, and honestly I just felt like bumming. Okay, we went to see the movie. I just wanted to be real comfortable, but then I was getting refreshed and everything for this reading, and I just looked in the mirror. I was like, Hello Kitty. Okay, kitty. And it came through that for some of you, this being wanted total access to your sacral chakra. Not just access, but they wanted control, because this person, it was always about them seeing you as a portal. This person lacks the ability to connect with the cosmos in the way that you are able to do that. You have access to codes. You have access to a bloodline. You have DNA that serves as a highway that connects you to ancient beings, ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom. You have this flowing through you. And whatever's not within you, you're able to easily access it when you are aligned with the divine. And they know this. This being wanted access to your chalice or your wand. And particularly, if you have a womb, they really wanted access. Because of course, the womb is a very sacred portal, okay, to the cosmos. If you have a wand, they wanted access to your energy of abundance. They wanted to yield abundance in their world, in their bank account, from you. They always knew that you were just that powerful. And they wanted to lock that energy down. They did not just want access to it. They wanted to control it. And you said no. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we're going to start with the Kemetic Tarot. We're going to get into the... They guided me to the Tangled Love deck. It might not be a love connection, but there are some cards that are going to come through there to clarify this energy. Divine, please clarify this energy for this beautiful being. Okay, we have 8 of Wands. This was a direct attack that was made against you. And then we have Knight of Wands reverse. Yeah, this person was going straight for your chakras. They wanted access to your energy, and they had not a single good intention for you when you were in communication. Whatever communication they were sending with this 8 of Wands, it was because they wanted to rush in and attack you. They saw you as a source for everything that they wanted. Whether it was lust that they wanted to satisfy, whether it was money that they wanted, whether it was connections to entities and energies, and I'm hearing that some of them wanted to connect with Lemuria and Atlantis through you. They wanted to connect with certain deities through you. They wanted to be able to manifest things through you, through your womb, or with your wand. Because they know that you are magic. They are envious of your spiritual abilities. So there's something here about when they watch you, they feel so imbalanced with the Page of Swords. They're constantly watching you, and they're trying to make a decision, trying to make a choice. What's this choice that they're trying to make, Spirit? Or this balance that they're trying to get? Yeah, Sun reversed. They feel like they're on fire, like they are burning from the exposure. And also, they know that they are closed off from any means of success. That's why the 5 of Pentacles was at the bottom of the deck. Because every intention that they have at this point in time to watch you, and for some of you, they want to reach out to you, it's because they are stuck in poverty and poor health with the 5 of Pentacles. And they feel like they are stuck, which this is their judgment. They feel like they're stuck because all eyes are on them, and they hate that. They hate that they are clearly seen. And so, you know, it's kind of like if a person gets into a tough spot in life, there's a certain level of optimism that they're able to have because they don't feel guilty about why they ended up there. They just feel like, okay, I'm gonna encourage myself, get out of this rough spot, and we're gonna get back into the groove. Okay, a person can easily talk themselves into success or into getting out of a state of poverty so that they can manifest whatever it is that they need, as long as they don't feel like they're being punished by the universe for trying to hold somebody back or trying to siphon energy from someone. But this person right here, they know that they were coming in to attack with the Knight of Wands reversed. They know that they were coming in to siphon your sexual energy and your sacral energy. They know that. Okay, they said go to Tangle Love. You may have been receiving cosmic nudges about what's going on with this being. Intuitive hits, soul maps, and following the signs. That may have been what helped lead you away from this person. You just knew something wasn't right. You knew to get away from them. This person wanted to fight with you. That's literally what they wanted. They wanted to fight with you. They wanted to upset you so much to the point where you, and going back to Michael Jackson and Joe Jackson, okay? This person is coming through a lot like Joe. And so this is a being that does not know how to, but I'm speaking in the past because this is when this person was interacting with you, and I see you as moving on. If you haven't already, you're about to. But this person has no idea how to process their emotions. They carry their emotions with them constantly. They're never working through them. And the only way that they try to work through them at all is to put them on somebody else, to make their anger, their envy, somebody else's issue. And that's what they were trying to do to you. This person, when they look in the mirror, they hate themselves. They hate what they see. This person may have insulted you. You know, Joe Jackson would call Michael Big Nose, knowing damn well where Michael got that nose from. And his nose was beautiful. He didn't need to touch it. He didn't need to do a thing to it. But this person has said things to you to cut you down because they hate themselves. There's something about themselves that they just cannot stand. And so whatever it is that this person has insulted you about, it may not have been something about your physical appearance, but it may have been something about your spirituality or how you present yourself or how you carry yourself. That's because that person hates themselves. And so they felt that if they could put that pain onto you, that they could feel just a little bit better about themselves. And you know, the sad thing is it never worked. It never worked. They never felt better. And I'm going to tell you that anytime this person attempted to insult you, 24/24 on the timer, when they insulted you, it never made them feel better. But the only thing that would make them feel better, because they are a sadist, is when they got an emotional reaction out of you. So that's one reason why they always wanted to fight you, was because they wanted to see you get heated. If you got heated, they felt just a little bit important, just a little bit validated that, oh, I am important to them. They shed a tear for me. They're grumpy because of me. So I am important to them. It wasn't necessarily that they wanted you to feel badly. It's that that is the only way that this person feels that they can control anyone. They can't control people, making them feel prosperous and peaceful and all of that. They don't get any satisfaction out of that because it doesn't feel like control to them. But they like to put people on a string and be their puppeteer, and that's what they wanted to be for you. Coming clean, confessing, opening up, being truthful, raw emotions. There's something that this person wants to present that they are coming clean about. What is this, Spirit, that they are saying they want to come clean about? They're hesitant. They're scared. What is this, Spirit, that they want to come clean about? Healing through love, recovery. I want to take a look at the energy of that. What's at the bottom of the deck? Guidance, faith, healing, intuition. They want a reunion. They're planning. Why? Because they've hit rock bottom. They want to meet with you. Okay, we're getting to the heart of it. See, Spirit will always reveal the truth. They want to send you a message. But beautiful being, after all you've been through, you don't need another go round of toxicity, of manipulation, or of mind games. Because for this person, this is a strategy. Divine, please show this person's intentions. Their true intentions toward this beautiful being. They're coming in with some fakeness, photoshopped. They're not presenting their true self to you. Also, I'm getting that this could be like evidence. Maybe there was cheating or something that you called them out on. And so they're coming in with some sort of like false rebuttal, some false response. And I'm seeing them like you already exposed them. But then they've had time to sit around and think about it. I'm seeing them here like, you know how people will sit at a chessboard and really think about their next move? That's what they've been doing. They've been sitting back and thinking how they can Photoshop something, a photo, a text, or come up with a reason as to why they did this, or a reason as to why they did that. And that's why it looked so fishy. Joe Jackson. Okay. So, boundaries. Divine is saying to keep your boundaries high, high. High, high. There's something that they're trying to organize as far as a meeting. And I'm getting from this blind date card that they want to surprise you with this. They want to spring it up on you, or they want to present it in a way that you can't say no. And I'm getting that they would try to do this because they're saying, oh, I want to heal. Listen, this person knows all the lingo. They know how to do enough smooth talking. They may have even been looking up some things on AI to figure out what to say to you so that they're wording things in a way that convinces you to let them in. It's all deep fake. Yeah, because deep fake is kind of like AI. This person is using AI to do research to try to figure out how to approach you. They need to stay off Gemini. There could be a Gemini here. Doesn't have to be. What's another one? There's Gemini. Of course, Google, but I don't use a lot of AI. I use some of the components in Canva for my thumbnails sometimes if I want like a nice something, like a picture of something. But I don't use a lot of the like written AI. But what's that other one? ChatGPT. Yeah, they might be using ChatGPT. They need to stay off all of that. They need to stay off all of that. This is a clout chaser. And the crazy thing is, they want clout from you. They want like your approval. They're looking for approval from you. At one time, this person cared about social media and things like that. I'm getting that they don't even care about that no more. They don't even care about that. They want your approval. That's all they care about. But they want your approval so that they feel like they're in the game again, so that they can play mind games. They just want to convince you so badly that they want to be in a place of healing. So expect them, if you do encounter this person, okay? Now, if you can, because this boundaries card, I'm seeing like a fortress around you where you're not letting them in at all. But, you know, sometimes people share children and things like that, or you might work in an environment close to this person or live in an environment close to this person or something. So if they do try to enter your space, just visualize your fortress going up and your ancestors and your spirit allies just all gathered around you, just like bodyguards, okay? Yeah. So this is the best response. Being unbothered. Not giving them any reaction, because that's what they're looking for. They want a reaction from you, beautiful being. They want to know that if you were to get upset or and they're going to look at very slight things like your chest going up and down because you're excited or maybe nervous. They're going to look for any signs of sweating. Don't give them any sign of interest, of excitement, or of care. Now, what I'm getting is that this will actually be quite easy for some of you because you have done so much work on yourself that you truly are unbothered. Because that was one of the first messages that came through, is that this person is so upset that they know that they're not relevant to you anymore. There may have been a time where like you wanted to work things out, or you were willing to talk it out, work it out, hash it out. That flame is extinguished, okay? You have moved on. And yeah, this person is just wanting approval from you. And you know what their plan is? Is to first get approval from you and then to get right back into their old ways of looking for clout with other people. But see, all of that is on hold right now because they're so fixated on you. Okay? Divine. What is the guidance that's coming through for this beautiful being? Okay, they say go to the Divine Feminine deck. Whether you are, you align more with masculine or feminine, it doesn't matter. What's coming through? Yeah. So you have a gift right now where your spirits are protecting you so much that it's almost as if you're invisible to this person because they're trying to spy on you. they're trying to see where you are, stalk you, and they're not able to get a hold on you because you have gone to a whole other timeline. You're on a whole other dimension. This person is not able to access you anymore. Good. Good. Because clearly they don't have any good intentions anyway. So they don't need to be accessing you. And they're trying hard because we have this Page of Swords here. But they need to go study something else. They need to go look at something else. They need to go read a book. Watch a video on how to improve themselves. Journal. Clean out some of that garbage within their chakras. They need to work on that. Because constantly watching you is not helping them right now. What else, Spirit? Yeah, you're manifesting. Also, with this card being so dark, I'm getting that, you know, it's a really beautiful thing to just close your eyes and to be one with source energy and visualize what you desire. I'm watching American Gods. I love that show. And there was an episode where I forgot his name, but it's the main character, Shadow Moon. He is learning how to manifest, and so he closes his eyes and he visualizes snow. But first there's darkness. So he goes into the darkness first, just like what you see when you close your eyes, and then he visualizes snow. And it starts snowing. And he couldn't believe that he had that power to do that. But that's a really wonderful thing to do, is to go within. And just like it is, like it's dark out there in the cosmos, visualize what you are manifesting, forming from that darkness, okay? It's very powerful. But that's how I'm seeing this card here. But also you might be manifesting something that at one time you weren't ready for, but now you're ready for it, okay? Okay. There could be something here pertaining to love. This is love within yourself, love for creative endeavor. But this is also love that you share and a connection, whether it's someone within your family. It could be someone that you love, okay? It doesn't have to be romantic love, but it's very dear. Also with this pink energy around here, this is a very good vibe here, because whoever you are sharing this love with, there's friendship there. It's love that's based in friendship. And so whatever this is, it's very special, whether it's with a child that you have, or with a family member, or with a lover. There is really sweet connection here. Yeah, there's patience, and this came out on the fence. So there might be something that you feel a little bit like you want it to be here. You want something now. Okay, yeah, because in the palm of her hand she has a snail. Okay, what's the guidance on this, Spirit, on this patience card? What does this beautiful being need to know? You know, okay, so we've got joy at the bottom, but this is joy that comes after negativity. So there's some negativity that you experience, but now you are experiencing joy because that's what you've chosen to experience. And you're experiencing that regardless of whatever confrontation has existed. There could have been someone who was confrontational, or maybe there was this like restlessness or a vibe of needing to prove oneself, but you're replacing that with peace and with joy. Yeah, you let go of a toxic addiction, whether it was to a person or to a relationship that was toxic or something. It could have even been a way that you were thinking about yourself. You let go of something here. And that's why you're able to have joy. Also, you could have been with someone. This could be this person who was coming through that was so controlling. They may have had toxic addictions. And so by letting go of that energy, yeah, there's something that you're choosing to ignore. I'm getting that whoever this toxic person is, you're choosing to ignore their energy. Or when it comes to you, when you feel it, you recognize it, you acknowledge it, but you're not engaging. Okay, so there is kind of a difference there between choosing not to engage and then ignoring someone. But it feels like there could have been someone that you were involved with who had a toxic addiction, and that led them to ignore your needs. Okay, and that could have led to some feelings of depression. But now you're finding your voice. So you're using your voice to express something that's important to you, and this is creating balance in your realm. And also, there is room for you in your life regarding, 41 on the timer. That's 5 and 5, so this is after a time of change. If this is something that you want, where you want a union with someone, this is something that you are creating space for whatever it is that the universe has for you. Okay, whether it's a deep connection with another being or just simply enjoying your balance and your sacred energy and allowing that to flow without without being constantly triggered. Okay, because of a lack of communication, a lack of clear communication, that someone was not being open and honest, that could have led someone to feel needy. But if this was you, you're not a needy person. You have needs that were not being addressed. There's a difference. We only feel needy when our needs are not addressed, and we look to a person who is not able to fulfill those needs, and we continue to look to them to fulfill those needs. But you are not a needy person. What you're finding is that now, as you choose to love yourself, you're seeing just how balanced and healthy you really are. Yeah, because you were involved with a karmic partner, and that's something you're just not doing anymore. You're not doing that anymore. You've released any need that you ever felt, any desire that you ever felt to be with someone who is karmic, and you're focusing on your intentional self-care. You might be taking spiritual baths. You might be getting flowers and putting them in your home to raise the vibration of your home. You know, you can get a pack of flowers for under $10. And I tell you, it makes such a difference in the vibe of your home. That's something I love to do to raise the frequency of my home. Okay? And doing that after you've cleansed your home, purified the energy, whether through sound frequency music or using bahor or some sort of smoke to cleanse the energy of your home. You can mop your floors with some Florida water, some floor cleanser. Okay, you can add some lemon peel to your mop water. You can put pine sprigs in your mop water. Okay, and a little bit of salt. Anything that you have that's cleansing. You can put a bay leaf in there. Okay, but bless the water and know that you're blessing your home. All right, Spirit, what does this beautiful being have to look forward to as we close this reading? You're going to be looking deeper into something. Okay, now look, Divine is just giving you a reminder about that being that is trying to find a way back in. They do have secrets and hidden information that lies beneath the surface, that they're not being honest about. So when they come to you telling you, if they're able to reach you, okay, telling you that they want to heal, they are speaking from a place of strategy, not honesty. Okay. All right, hidden wonder. Beauty often arises from surprising places. So find the hidden wonders in your life. There are things that you're going to be noticing that you didn't notice before because your mental energy was going towards something that was toxic. And now what you've done is you've freed your mental channels. Okay, they're very cleansed, and you're able to see things more clearly. You're able to see blessings so much more clearly. So you're going to find some things, and these are also things within yourself and anyone that you love around you, whether it's a child or someone that you have a healthy connection with. You're going to be noticing very positive things about that being that you hadn't really noticed before. You're going to be seeing people in a different light. It's kind of like, you know, when you look at somebody and you're like, I've never seen you in that way. You know, it's going to feel like a pleasant surprise that was there all along. And it's because you're awakening to the blessings that someone wanted to block you from. But now you're seeing the beauty in the things that were around you all along. You're going to experience the full richness of life. And this brings you to happiness. Happiness, as you buzz through life, remember to enjoy the times and live your joy. Also for me, hummingbirds are always about ancestors, sweet surprises from the ancestors. So look forward to some really cool downloads and some really great messages that reassure you of your protection and your abundance. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. I am so grateful for these messages. Thank you for allowing them to come through me. Beautiful being, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy, and I wish you so many blessings. Take care.